Clingers. Are you a stage 5 clinger? If so, how much time and attention do you need? Are you with a stage 5 clinger? How do you deal with being with someone who is a stage 5 clinger? Do you just cling to them all the time and make them feel all warm and mushy inside? Or do you need space from your little stage 5 clinger? Either which way. That's what we're discussing today on the Mars Mindset. So, yeah, I had a rough night last night. I had to take somebody to the hospital and then go get a warrant. But in the process, he spat right here, right on my face. And no, he didn't get smacked because he was already in handcuffs. And I had to control my anger, which I think I did a good job of. But yeah, I was pretty peed off. But anyway, that's over with. We're now on Mars, and we get to discuss people who are clingy. I'm pretty clingy. I'm a clingy person, so I like clingers. So as soon as somebody wants to come in here, we'll have the conversation. Hey, share this. Everybody should share this with one person or two people. Pick one of the people who, your friends that you think will enjoy watching or tuning in, and click this little thing right there. Well, it might not be right there on your screen, but click the little arrow and send it to a friend or two and tell them to come on in and join the show. But clingy, someone who has an excessive desire to be around their significant other in some capacity. Like they can never really need time apart. And that could be like physical, like they like to always be up under the significant other. Or they never really want the significant other to like leave out without them. Not necessarily possessive, right? But just like, some dogs are like really clingy. Like you get ready to leave the house and they start whining real bad. Separation anxiety. Things like that. Or they're in the house. You know how some puppy dogs, they're in the house, you're in the house and they just gotta like sit right up under you, gotta scooch up under you. You're sitting on the couch and they just kind of scooch in. That's how some people are. I think I'm clingy. Lil's in here. Lil, do you think I'm clingy? I think I'm clingy. How is it being married to a clinger?
It's okay. Annoying at times, but it's okay.
Wait a minute. What does that mean? What's annoying? Okay, so what's
I
annoying?
don't mean it in a bad way. Sometimes you just, you have want your space sometimes too. Like you'll go sit in the garage or sit on the porch, that type of thing.
That's from them kids. That ain't from you.
It's it's the same thing.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not the same. Anyway, so what's a good thing about being in a relationship with a clinger?
I guess it lets you know that your significant other wants to be around you, so they like you.
Well, that's true. So should I minimize, what's the word? Should I decrease my clinginess?
No, it doesn't bother me.
You just said it was annoying.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have known that if I didn't say anything.
Unique beauty.
It's not. It doesn't.
Whatever, I
Bother,
know.
it doesn't bother me to. Well, it doesn't bother me to the point where I felt like I needed to say anything.
You said it could be annoying, so I guess
Oh gosh, here we go.
Here we go. What? We're just having a conversation.
I just don't want you to be acting weird now. Like come in the house and change the way you act because I didn't say something.
Oh no, I know I
Okay.
can be annoying. That's okay. I don't care.
Okay.
The filter's throwing me off. That's
I
interesting.
hide in the bathroom. Shayla said she hide in the bathroom from her kids. Oh, from how's Yardley doing?
I don't know. Let's find out. Let's
Oh,
invite
yeah.
to the show. Everyone, whoever's on here, you might get invited in today, but that's okay. This doesn't have to be a
Not
long.
the same. I run when mine is with the kids.
Let's see. Oh, she declined. She doesn't want to come into the show. That's okay.
She might be at work.
Yeah, she might be. I'm tired today. I think I might just
Why
crawl
don't you
back
tell
into
them
it.
about your story?
I already told him that I got spat on last night, so
Oh,
I don't want to talk about it anymore. I just want to cling. I just want to lay there
mm.
and be puppy dogs. But it's okay. Let's see who else we got in here. Who else might want to come in? Did I? Oh, let me see. Did I invite? Did I invite you in? Let's see. There she go.
Who was that?
Oh, she declined.
Better.
She left. There you go, Keisha. Keisha's probably clingy. She seems like a clinger.
You
That's
think
what
so?
I think Keisha. Um, I look like who shot John and forgot to kill him right now. So what? Who cares? We don't care about that. That's okay.
Hey, Keisha.
Hey y'all.
Keisha,
Sorry, I was doing homework.
are you a clinger?
No.
You seem like a clinger. Okay, so you're not a clinger. Have you ever been in a relationship with a clinger?
Yes.
How how has that experience been in a relationship with a clinger?
Annoying.
Huh.
It was kind of annoying. Now certain I don't know, that clingy thing is all in the moment and how you feel type of thing. But somebody who is always so like smothering, that it's annoying because I don't want to be up under you every single second.
No, a clinger. Well, so you don't want the clinger to be up under you every single second.
No.
So if you had your choice between someone who's a clinger and someone who never really wanted affection, which one would
Can we have a happy medium?
no. Not on Mars.
No.
No. You can't have a happy medium.
Got Lil on the live. Let me get away from these kids making all this noise. Hold on. Okay. I need a happy medium. Sometimes I want that, and sometimes I do not. Me being clingy, I used to be super clingy, but then I realized I liked me too. So I wasn't as clingy as I was before. Like trying to be around people to always have something to do or feel wanted or like just all of that. I'm just not there. But I need a medium. I don't need somebody who's always super clingy about everything. And I don't need somebody who is like very distant.
So essentially, what you're saying is you want to be able to cuddle and coddle when you feel like it, and when you don't want it, you want to be able to just be like, I don't want you clinging up under me.
That sounds so terrible.
But
Sometimes
that's true.
sometimes the truth sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, but that's the truth. But I will notice at times when they need that and I'm okay with it, but all the time, no. Be quiet, crew lover.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes when you actually say it out in in words, you're like, gosh, this sounds terrible.
Yes, it does. It sounds really selfish, I think.
Have you ever have Lil, if you need to step off at any point, just let me know.
I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out why I can't see the comments.
Oh, I don't know. They're
That's
there. They're
all I'm
both.
doing.
Have you ever either one of y'all have what was my question? Oh, well, I should know Lil's answer to this, but who knows? Have you ever had a conversation with a clingy person about their clinginess? And if so, how did it go?
Yes.
We had a conversation about my clinginess?
I'm thinking.
hmm
When?
Because you took something that I said to heart when I didn't mean it the way that you took it. And
Oh,
so we had to talk to Dr. E about it.
what?
I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Remember when I was saying that when I don't remember how it was put, but remember when I said something like everybody is demanding of me or something like that, and you thought I was just talking about the kids, and I was like, no, you too, and I didn't mean it in a super
Oh,
negative way, but you thought that I meant like I didn't want you to bother me and stuff like that.
yeah, I remember that. That was something that we talked about, and I'll tell y'all my perspective from the perspective of someone who, in our relationship, I'm more so of the clingy, right? So, from the clingy person's perspective, when she said that, in my mind, I'm like, I already go, for lack of a better term, out of my way to not be clingy, right? So, in my experience, I don't get to cling as much as I would like to. So for her to say that, I'm like, well, I'm already giving you a lot of space. Now, if even if she didn't mean it in that way, my interpretation of it was like I'm roped in with the kids who they have to be paid attention to, right? Especially Finn, because Finn, like, it's survival. And I'm like, well, that's not really fair because between, work, the kids, and everything else, and your desire to not be clung to all the time, I'm already giving up a lot of time that I don't get to be get to be clingy. So I
Mhm.
took it. My feelings were hurt.
Uh,
Yeah,
go ahead,
he
Lils.
didn't want to hang out with me for a long time, so I felt sad.
Oh no!
Well, not a long time, just until
But did
uh
you clear that up though, and you understood what she was saying?
I don't remember.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I just know that in the moment, because of course you remember, you remember the pain more than you remember once you're healed or whatever. I just know that in the moment, so I think too, we hadn't really spent a lot of time together in that recent past. So if you look at like that last week or two, we hadn't really spent time together, right? So then that was a moment for us to be able to spend time together because the kids weren't home and either one of us were at work. So for her to say that, I'm like, well, damn, I'm clingy, or I'm more clingy than you. In the past week and a half or 2 weeks, we haven't spent any time together. And then in the moment that we have to spend time together, you said that everyone was demanding of your time. And I'm like, well, damn, like, I can't be that demanding. I can't be that demanding because I ain't asked for it in the past. I haven't gotten it in the past 2 weeks or whatever. Go ahead, Keisha. You about to say something?
Yeah, I was. I'm looking at the comments, and crew was like, "It's definitely a balance. I need that balance." And then it was something else that
Hold on, Lil. Can you mute it while you play with them papers?
I'm sorry.
that clinginess is in the eye of the beholder, and I think it is because I think the degree and is it differs between people and relationships. I'm not saying that I don't want somebody who wants to just maybe lay up under me when they come home from work or things like that, but clinginess is not only just that. It's like my conversation with somebody that was clingy and then telling them how I felt, they felt like attacked, like I'm trying to love you and be around you and you think it's clingy. So would you like it better if I didn't want to do this? It's like you're not listening that sometimes people need that little space or that break just to have moments, with themselves because I love me. I love to lay in my bed, watch my movies on my balcony. That's my favorite place. I like to be out there alone. It's good to know that you're around somewhere at times and I'll come right back to you. I'm coming, but they got real upset and it was nothing else I could say after that. It was like now You don't want me around. So, oh, should I hug you? Should I come sit next to you? Should I this? And I'm like, what? Are you serious? Like, it's not that serious. I'm just telling you that it just feels suffocating sometimes. That's all I'm saying. And it's not that I
Okay.
love you or none of that, but give me a second.
Okay. Lil, do you have something to add to that? You're you're
You know,
muted. We can't hear you. Well, you muted because of the papers.
leave Lil alone.
No, I'm just telling her. So she just you gotta hit the little microphone.
Too much. This is why
Okay.
I don't get on live. All
No,
of this.
you're gonna keep getting on live. You're fine.
What I was gonna say. I said, oh, I'm with Keisha. I like to have my time where I'm laying down watching, Chicago PD or Chicago Med or whatever, just the quiet time. So, because I'm always ripping and running, and the kids, they require a lot of my time, and then a lot of times my husband, he gets the little scraps that's left over. So I have to accommodate, for
Yeah.
that too. So that's why I
So
don't complain. I don't complain about it.
so here's the thing though. So and we talked about this in therapy, and Dr. E agreed with me on this particular part. And I'm not just saying that because he doesn't always agree with me. Me and Dr. E, we argue about stuff all the time. Um, because I'm the one who's more clingy, and this isn't how the conversation was framed when we talked to him, but because I'm the one who's more clingy, and she's the one who's less clingy, and I naturally am not going to want to be annoying, then it's her job to initiate when she's interested in cuddling, coddling, or being clung to. Because it's unfair to put me in a position of trying to figure out when it's okay for me to do so. You could be watching TV and it's okay. You could be watching TV and want your space. I'm not a mind reader, and I really don't want to try and figure out when you are okay with me coming and being around or not being around. So
Right.
that's your job. So you have to figure that out.
I agree with that though. But I had to realize that because I won't say anything. It'll just be a look. Like, what are you doing? What are you about to do? And then it's like, well, I don't know. It's like playing double dutch. Do I jump in or do I just like sit over here and wait? So I had to learn, like, all right, let me initiate, or let me be like, oh no, it's okay. Because you keep on walking back and forth. You don't know whether to mess with me or not. And I don't want it to get to the point where I'm not approachable or you're afraid in expressing yourself. So I had to understand that I needed to initiate that, and I needed to say something and just give some type of comfort that even though I feel like this, you might not be feeling like this, and you may need that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it takes two in that, because you're understanding that I don't like that all the time or sometimes, but it's like, well, when is the time? So
Right.
that, right.
So how am I supposed to know? Like it's not like you established it. Like, if I'm watching, I wish Julie was on here. Julie and Phil both
But
like.
you would have never known that if I didn't say anything. It's not like I'm like
No, I wouldn't
get
already.
away from me, or like.
No, you're not. But I already know. Like I can read micro expressions. Like when you're clingy, right, and you're with someone who isn't equally as clingy as you, they do certain things and move in certain ways that inform you that they're not really in the mood to have you up under them,
Hmm.
right? And I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna just be like think about this. Like you're in the mood to cuddle, your significant other isn't, and that happens fairly consistently over time for whatever reason. I'm not going to have I'm not gonna hit you with the we need to talk every time you don't feel like me being up under you. I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna be like, oh, all right, cool, and I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna do me because I can be a loner. I'm good. I'm an introvert, so I can get plenty of energy from being from by myself. But I know how to read the tea leaves. and it
Right.
doesn't take much. And I'm good at reading people, so I can tell when you're not really in the mood for me to come and snuggle up under you. So it's not, and I don't. I'm not gonna say something because like I'm not about to argue about this.
Right.
But your clinginess isn't always like physical too. Like sometimes like you'll want to talk, so you'll come in and start talking while I'm watching TV, and you'll I'll listen, but I'm still like trying to listen to the TV, so I'll kind of just be like, okay, and then you'll kind of get the vibe and just stop and kind of,
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna say sadly walk away, but just kind of slowly walk out the room and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I am guilty of this on both sides. Because I love to have some in-depth conversations, and I think that I'm a momentary clingy person. So it is there, but most of the time, not even most of the time, 50% of the time, I'm just like, look, give me a second. I need to decompress, or I just don't want none of that right now. Like, just give me a minute. But I will go find somebody and start talking, especially my person, and they could be watching their favorite show or doing something, and I'm about to talk because I need to get this out. And then they just, yep, yeah. And then after a while, I'm like, you ain't really answering me. You're not sparking nothing off on this side. I'm like, are you listening to me? You hear me saying, yeah, I heard you. So I'm like, you know what, never mind. And then I'll just walk off. So I'm guilty of that too, Chels. I was laughing because that sounds like some stuff I do. I did it last night, actually. He's sleepy, and I want to have a full-blown, like, come to the deep side conversation. Like, the heck
I
is
think too though. With you, Booger, like I feel like I don't have. I know you're saying like I should approach you when I want to be clingy or feel in the mood to be clingy or whatever, but sometimes I get distracted with the stuff I do around the house. So I'm always, and you even get on me about this. You like, Liv, just sit down. So I'm always doing something. So it just the clinginess doesn't settle in until 9:30 when you're leaving for work, and I'm just being clung to by my kids.
Right. And I get
So
so in those rare moments where I can fully express my clinginess and you just want to watch Real Housewives, something's got to give, right? So if I walk into the room and I check the temperature and it's not as warm as a clingy person needs it to be, I'm just gonna come in and be like, "Hey, I was just checking on you," and then I'm gonna leave out.
well, so you could sit down and watch The Housewives with me.
But I
yeah,
don't
why don't you?
because I can tell that because I want to be clung to. I don't want to be ancillary to the Real Housewives,
Man,
right?
you better come
So,
on in here and lay me a
no, that's
boob
not
or
fair.
something, a
No,
leg, and
no, 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 no,
yes, come on in here.
no. You're not gonna have me be like the coleslaw to the.
Oh my
I am not.
The coleslaw. You're the
I am
main
not
course.
coleslaw. Okay.
You,
I am.
you're not a side dish.
What do the women say? They be like, I'm a whole meal. I'm not a
God.
little,
Right.
right? So if I'm in the mood for attention, and we're not even necessarily, I'm not talking. We're not even having this conversation in terms of like intimate, like sex, like sexually, right? That's not what I'm talking about. If I want to be talked to and have conversation, I don't want the mm-hms and all this and all that. I don't want to lay here and just be here, and then it's kind of like you're really into who's the killer in the show, and happening ancillary part who's laying here while you try to figure out if you had been a detective, what would have happened. No, young. That's no.
Right.
No, 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 no. That's not. We're not doing that. That's not. No, we're not. I'm not having that. So when you are done watching your little show and you have time, then you can come let me know, and I can be the center of attention for a little while.
So after the show go off, you want Lil to come find you and just jump on your ass and be like, I'm here.
No, she doesn't have to. It just if
Or he'll This is
So
what he'll do. He'll do stuff like we'll both be downstairs and the kids won't be around. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can go upstairs and watch an episode of this or something. And he'll be like, "You going upstairs?" While I'm walking upstairs. So he'll ask me the question. And he'll ask the question about like if I'm going upstairs or am I going to sleep or am I going to lay down, instead of saying, "Stay down here with me." And so then I feel guilty, like, yeah, I'm gonna go lay down, or yeah, I'm gonna go do this, and it makes me feel guilty sometimes. So I'll be like, "Oh, I'll stay down here with you if you want me to."
Don't
see,
say
He
if you
does
want
like
me to.
it's like a
Don't say
reverse
if you want me
psychology type
to.
thing.
When he asks you that, you already know what he's saying. One day, just
Okay.
turn around, leave that show on the DVR, and
Oh,
just
I don't do that all the time. I'm just saying
okay.
those are like examples of,
so
I just know times in which I have done that,
in that
because
example,
I don't get like a lot of alone time to
Oh, I
myself.
understand. Believe me.
We both don't. So
Right.
see, in that example, there's a lack of communication that occurs,
Yes.
right? And the lack of communication begins, from my perspective, with her just going upstairs, right?
okay, so I have to tell you what I'm about to go do.
Well, because there's a lack of time that we spend together, and that I like for us to spend more time together than we actually do, and we're both downstairs in the kitchen, and you're doing whatever, and I'm doing whatever, and then you just kind of creep around the other side, and then go upstairs. It kind
Got
of
to
makes
sneak.
me like, okay, so I guess this is a social issue, right? And so that's why I asked, are you going upstairs, or whatever the case may be, so that I can know what my process is, right? Because if
Mm,
you're going upstairs to, like, how, like, when you got upstairs, you might prefer the upstairs bathroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you might be going upstairs just to get something right quick.
mhm.
Okay. Well, what Lil will do, Lil will creep upstairs, and then I think about it, and it's 30 minutes later, and she's just up there, and in my mind, I'm about to come back down. So I'm asking because, like, okay, I don't have a problem. You go wherever you want to go. Who cares?
Right. I got
But
you. I
but
get it.
if you're not gonna be present with me, then I don't want to just be sitting here thinking that she's gonna be back right quick, and
Right.
when I could have just no asked like I do. Yo, you about to go upstairs? Yeah, about to go lay down. Okay, cool. I don't want to be the coleslaw. So
She said, why ask the question when you know the answer? Because you want the other person to just think, oh, maybe they weren't thinking. Maybe they were just beelining to do something. Maybe they were just going up there for a second. So you know me.
What's
I'm
that?
asking you this because I don't want to be direct and get on top of you and make you feel like, oh Lord, I can't even go upstairs. He about to say, stay down here with me. So I ask you, what are you getting ready to do? Like, what's up?
right.
Because maybe you just went upstairs to do this and you're going to come back. But if you're going to be up there for a minute, I'm not about to sit here in this chair waiting for you to come back. It's like sometimes I feel like it's the puppy syndrome, when the puppy just so excited and it's just sitting there and it's wagging its tail and the tongue is out. Be like, when she gonna pet me? When they gonna pet me? When it's gonna happen? I'm gonna jump on you. No, don't jump on me. Get down. So you just come over there and rub a little bit. It's just, I guess, knowing your partner. And I know that with us not having a lot of time, the only thing we really think about is the time alone. But when we have someone else, we need to like incorporate, okay, these kids not here. It's on. Let's just do something together. Compromise sometimes, because it is something I may want to do. It is something that you may want to do. I want to get that in. But at some point, I need to just have solitude. I need to get my brain back and just be Keisha for a second, and not mommy, 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 wifey, 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 this, that, and the other. I totally get it, but we cannot ignore our people. But
Booker, do you feel like I ignore you?
Um, I don't know if I would use the word ignore.
what
Um,
would you use?
I don't know. I'm not sure the word is ignore. I just think that there's not as much a time for attention, time and attention as I would like. And then there's also not enough time for you to be able to do the solo things that you enjoy doing. So I just chalk it up to, she's doing what it is that she feels like doing right now. I have plenty of stuff that I can go do, so I go do it. I don't like when I think ignore, I think like real live, like I'm intentionally trying to make contact with you.
Right.
Intentionally,
You.
I don't think that's what it is. As far as Chanel goes, since I've been doing this show, people always talk about how you should know your partner. I don't completely subscribe to the idea that because I've been with my wife for a long time, I should know what she wants, because
it's always changing.
right?
Yes,
So
people evolve constantly.
So for the first 39 years and 39 years and 11 months and 2 weeks of my life, I had never actually been spat on, right? Last night I got spit on in my face, right? So this is my point. Listen to what I'm telling you.
Mm.
People change from moment to moment. People experience things from moment to moment. So for her to assume that I'm the same person who left the house last night would be an incorrect assumption, because I'm not. And that's why Coach Jay always says we have to have a conversation.
Right.
And so this whole notion that you know your partner, yeah, there are certain things you know, but your partner is not, their emotions, their thoughts, emotions, and opinions, they're not stagnated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that, you can try to pick up on, but I could, as the clingy person, I could say, well, you know me, so you should know when I want attention.
That's true.
Fair, but that right, because I just don't assume that you should know. I ask, hey, are you going upstairs? Because I'm trying to create the communication so that I can understand where you are and where I can be in relation to where you are. So the notion that because you've been with somebody, you should just know them. Actually, you don't. You should actually spend the rest of your life getting to know people, even if your spouse, your kids, your friends, your family, your coworkers, whoever you're going to interact with. You never know what that person went through yesterday or 10 minutes ago.
True.
So that's just something that
I don't think that either one of y'all are like wrong in your perspective and the things that you want to do. And it's great that you just want to be with your wife. And it's maybe that y'all have to change the perspective on it just being like, okay, the kids ain't here, it's on, or like you might have to start to make things actively known that and it's not like scheduling it, because please don't do that. That would totally blow me. Be like, look, the kids are leaving and from 10 to 12 you're mine or some shit. Like, no, that's crazy. But just,
sometimes you gotta do that.
You do,
you
but don't tell me.
About
that part would like the whole time I'm like, okay, I gotta be doing this from 10 to 12, like that. But just to make it known that I also want to spend time with just me, but I gotta make sure I spend some time with my baby. I will want to do that. I want to hug on you and just sit in the middle of the kitchen and smell your smell without somebody tugging on my back right leg, kicking me in the butt. I want snacks. What we gonna eat? I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. Juice box, like stuff like that. Believe me, I totally know. Like just where you're just in the moment of just being with your person. So it's like that has to become an active thought. These things have to become an active thought, because sometimes, and I'm not saying that this is y'all, because I don't think that sometimes in relationships we're so wrapped up in the rhythm, and I've been saying this message for like the 3 weeks now. We get so wrapped up in the rhythm of the way life is that we forget those little spontaneous things that can mean everything. Joy said 15 minutes can make the world a difference. That's true. That is definitely true. Now I'm going to watch my shows. I am going to go to that balcony, whether you come with me or not. Like, I am going out there. It could be 30 degrees. It could be 80 degrees. I am going to go find these places that make me happy. But I'll just out the blue come find you and be like, hey, handsome, just hug on you, let you lay on me, hug me, whatever, talk to you. My dude, he's very intellectual as well, and sometimes these conversations can go long, but I will sit there for the sake of knowing that he just wants me to listen. And then sometimes I do just like space out. it's all like a constant change every day. Everything doesn't need to be the same. But I had to make an effort thinking that, Keisha, you keep pushing people away from you because, oh, I don't feel like that. I. But it's not going to be about I when I have children, when I'm in a relationship, or if I'm in a marriage, or anything that I'm doing. It's not just going to be about me. So it's just making an active thought each day that I need to just do something to build the bonding connection with my person. Ma'am?
So Booger, do you think that what?
I'm just listening. I feel like I'm in a therapy session. I never
No, I
really
was just getting ready to
questions
ask.
up here.
Oh, well, it's Mars mindset, so you should allow us to pick your brain
You
and
guys
ask you the questions sometimes. So
so y'all can ask me anything. It's just that this is what I think. I think people aren't heard, aren't validated. So this is a space where they come and they get things off their chest. They don't come here to really. They may ask questions for informational purposes. They're not asking them in the way that I'm asking them. So,
well,
but that's
I'm
okay.
asking questions today.
Right.
Ooh, I love it. Let's go.
I was just asking. So since we've had that conversation, do you feel like I have improved in that area in terms of allowing myself to be clung to more?
Yeah, I mean, I think you make more of an effort. You know what I'm saying? And I think like I don't know if as someone who's kind of clingy, I don't know if I could ever get enough attention.
Oh,
That is the cutest thing ever.
So it's like kind of like a fountain. Like you just kind of wanted to just keep going and going and going and going and going. But yeah, I mean, you know, you've improved. I'm still gonna have moments where I want to not go slow.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
It just kind of is what it is. But something I was gonna add too is that I think so. If you know how kind of like how our brains work and it secretes different liquids and stuff, whatever it's called for different reasons, like endorphins and dopamine and all of that stuff the brain does. I would assume that clingers probably have a higher desire for whatever the brain does. Like, you know how they say you give somebody a hug and your brain begins to secrete certain fluids.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what addiction is. You're really addicted to the brain's reaction to a particular thing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that people who are clingy have more of a desire for that particular fluid to come down or whatever the case may be. So I don't even think it's just them. I think it's actually a chemical desire. So if you are addicted to, say, nicotine or caffeine or crack, right? Right?
At the crack.
I'm just saying.
So whoa.
No, listen what I'm saying. I'm just making the point that
Don't lose your thought.
I'm lose it. What I'm saying is that there's a. Oh, you telling Lil not to lose it?
Yeah.
I think people who are clingy can be judged and just like, oh, they're clingy. But if you looked at it from like an actual biological standpoint, you'd be like, oh, it actually makes sense. If you could look at them under the biological microscope and see what was happening in there, you'd be like, oh, their brain is trying to get the fulfillment, trying to get the dopamine.
Right.
Okay, so you said that it's not an addiction. It's an addiction to the feeling. It's not necessarily the person that in terms of the clinginess.
No, what I'm saying is I'm talking about from a chemical. What I'm saying from a chemical standpoint, there is the actual desire of the human body is for the brain to secrete whatever serotonin, dopamine, whatever it is. I don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you like if you desire something or you're addicted to something, the shortest distance to it is between 2 points, right? So if you notice, there'll be times I'll ask Libby for a hug or I'll ask Finn for a hug, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem hugging my friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
My friends, female friends, yo, somebody give me a hug, I'll give you a hug. So what I'm saying is and you're my wife, so I can't go get this fulfillment from anywhere else, right? Whether or not it's a desire for you or just to have that fulfillment, what I'm telling you, the point I'm making is it may be about you, or I might just be making it about you. But from a biological standpoint, it's probably the chemical desire for the brain. If I give you an example, you know how you get in a workout routine, right? And your body gets used to the endorphins, right? Okay, your body gets used to the endorphins, and then for 2 or 3 days you don't work out, right? And you can feel your body asking for those endorphins. It doesn't
grouchy. It changes your mood.
It doesn't necessarily want the elliptical or to run the football field or to lift weights. It wants the endorphins. Now, in its mind, it's saying, well, the way I've been getting this is by running. So I feel like you interpret it as I feel like running. But if you were to start doing a bunch of push-ups, you would probably end up getting those same endorphins.
Right.
So that's all I was saying.
I think it's a mix of both. I think that you want your person. Like, you are the person that can spark all of this stuff off in me. But really, I don't even associate it with that. Like, mentally, how many people are saying, I want to hug them for endorphins? I want to hug them for a dopamine kick. Like, no, that's not what you're. It's like, I just want them, their energy. I want to, just be around them. I want it just to be us. I want to be seen. I want to do this right now. This is what I want. This is what I want. And it's crazy that you're having this conversation, because in the last 2 weeks, we had a conversation about, because you did a live, I can't even remember what it was. Like, do we ask men what makes them happy or something? So I asked him, and his answer, I was very surprised. And I was like, wow, I didn't think you would even be interested in that or even want that. That's interesting. But then I've also noticed that because you're really strong and you're always moving and you're always doing something, I'm thinking that you don't need little things from me. So when you communicated and you showed me that you like for me to text you during the day and say little things and be the cheerleader and say this, I'm not just doing it now because you said it. I'm doing it now because I've wanted to do it, but I didn't think that it would be received. So now that you have shown me that, I am noticing where you're melting a little bit because you like that. You like that attention from me because you know that I'm super busy. So for me to take time out of my day just to give you these little love note texts, or just to send you like a gift that's like doing, get that shit, get it, stuff like that, I have noticed where it has made our relationship better in the last 2 weeks. But you got to have the communication between the two, and both people have to be open to what the other person says. And just, it made it active on my brain. If you're not saying anything, I do not know. I have no idea. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Lil, did you have something?
Come on, Lil.
No, I'm still at work. I'm getting ready to go because they vacuuming the carpets. It's time for they about to kick me out the building.
All right.
Oh, she's still at work.
You signing off?
I'll stay on. I'll just turn the camera off until I get to the car. If you want me to.
If you need to leave, just let me know. I can bring somebody else up if they want to come on. But
if you do leave, you come back.
This is what I was gonna say,
Lillian.
Mute, as you make your way through the thing, mute the mic so in case we don't say something crazy.
Yeah, please.
What was I getting ready to say? Oh, this is what I'm gonna say. I give y'all little tips here and there. Here's a secret for ladies.
Come on.
Not the exact same actions of attention that you desire, but the same energy of attention that you desire, guys do too. So, and I've said this before, because men are aggressive, like we are the ones who do the aggressive things in society and maintain infrastructure and all of that. Women tend to think that that's how they have to connect to us. But if you really, really, really want to connect to a guy outside of his natural masculine energy, is to do something that's actually sweet for him. Because your guy is not like if you were to I don't know, I use the example. If you were to buy your husband flowers, right? He may be like, whatever. Like, I don't like no flowers or whatever the case may be. But deep, deep, deep down in his being, he's gonna be kind of like, damn, that was kind of nice. Like, I kind of like that. You know, he might not tell you, he might not tell his boys, but what it's gonna do is, and also what it does is, it kind of lets him know, like, if you ever need to be sentimental, okay, to do that with me. You can create the space that, like, y'all have the feminine energy, the feminine power to be able to do that, to make the masculine feel more relaxed and more calm and more open, right? And masculine, we can put the battery in your back and be like, yeah, you can get them, you can do it, right? And you go get the new job and do this and do that. And so now you feeling like you Gal Gadot and Wonder Woman, you can do it. That's natural state, right? So you put the battery in each other's back. So the same way you would like to be texted that, I don't know, your hair looks nice or you look pretty today, is the same way. Even if your guy doesn't tell you, he's gonna appreciate it if you text him and be like, hey, handsome, I liked your haircut before you left this morning. He's gonna appreciate that. Might make him blush, might make him like a little boy or whatever. He may be kind of uncomfortable with it. But if you think about how you are with kids, even when you love on them and they're kind of like mushy about it, always love you. They always like you.
Yes, I am noticing. It's a beautiful thing, but it's great to explore this and to actually be aware. We keep saying that word every week, every day, being aware that you all actually like this, because when you like the man, this is your king. He's so strong. Sometimes, like you said, aggressive. He's not going to want me to be like, oh my God, you look so handsome. Or like sometimes FaceTime, like, oh, look at my cute baby. You so cute. I love you. Stuff like that. Love it to death. And I will do it all day long because that's how I feel. But when I think that that's not how it's going to come across, or maybe don't talk to me like that. I'm a grown ass man. Don't say that type of stuff to me. So that's the thought. That's why I don't do it. So it was like, okay, do something different. He had communicated with you what he likes. He didn't get in depth, but you just went with something that you felt and it works. And it makes him feel amazing and him feel great, because I want you to feel that way. So yeah, it's not always about telling me how beautiful I am or this. And you always keep talking about the flowers. And I have to respect that with the flowers, because flowers is something I used to do for myself for a long time. I used to drive the bus up to Olney, go get my flowers out the Safeway up there, bring my flowers back to the house, put them on the table every single week. When I had that run, I used to do that. I still do that to this day. But flowers is not just something I think is girly. It's like giving somebody that is full of life, that's beautiful, that's fragrant. You're going to remember the moment that it was given to you, the love that it takes to pick out pretty flowers. Like, my brain just goes another level with it. It's not a sexist thing where it's female or male. It just goes into something that's totally different than that. But I'm with the flowers, Chels. Gonna get you some flowers on the table. Lil gonna get you some flowers on the table.
So, yeah, I mean, too, like, if you begin to think about human beings from the moment they're born to old age, and you think about your significant other or just people in general as still having a little child inside of them, if you could do a better job of coming to know them. We exist on a spectrum, and just because I've gotten older doesn't mean that little boy doesn't exist anymore. He's still right, and he has desires and all of those types of things. So, and that's really the trick. When you can connect to someone's inner child is when you really can connect with them. Because little boys, just like little girls, like to be comforted. They like hugs. You see little boys all the time who sit up under their mom or whatever and stuff like that. And you never lose that. You may not identify with that version of yourself as much, but that boy is still in there. So whoever can get that little shy little kid to come out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna have his trust.
Right.
Boy, hold on, somebody's trying to get in the room.
Okay, bring him in. Something so crazy. My son is teaching me about the endearing moments of the male. He gets so excited and emotional about things that he really thinks like sweet and nice and caring. And it's like that's my mommy. He knows when things are wrong. He gives me hugs. He just shows me that he's a very strong and independent little boy, but he still has that soft side. So that's like teaching me that about men, about my relationship. Like he just go out here and do his thing. He is Spider-Man. But at the end of the day, I love my mommy's hugs and my mommy's kisses. And when people say things endearing, he'll be like, "Oh, that was cute," like stuff like that. He just thinks that is like amazing. So it's just lessons in every day, and you just have to be aware to take in the message. Hey, hon, what's up?
Mikhail,
Hi, everybody.
how you feeling, my brother?
I'm good. I'm good.
What you bring to the conversation? Are you a clinger?
Well,
I'm just hear you.
I'm just listening to
hear.
right now. I just came in.
So we're having a conversation about clingers, right?
About clingers?
Yeah, you know, people who are clingy.
Clingy? Okay.
Yeah. So are you a clinger? Is now I know one's wife's name is Jasmine. Is it Alicia or Alicia?
It's actually pronounced Alicia.
Alicia.
Yeah.
So who's the most clingy out of y'all three?
Jasmine.
Huh?
Jasmine, she's very clingy.
Okay. So what do you do to are you clingy?
No, I like to be left alone sometimes.
Okay. Is Alicia clingy?
She's a little bit of a loner too, but she has that side where she can be clingy sometimes.
Okay. So how do y'all deal with Jasmine's clinginess? How do you reverse
When you say clingy, you mean like always wanting to be up under you? That type
clingy,
right?
yeah, always want
yeah.
you always want like attention or to have a conversation. Like could always be around you, and you kind of like now, like I kind of just want to be by myself.
I need a break. Need a break. Sometimes I just say that. Hey, I need a minute to myself. You know, like sometimes I can go take a bath. You know, we have a big tub, a jacuzzi tub, and a lot of times when we use that, we all get in together. So when I go run it, they think, okay, we all about to get in, and I'm like, nah, I need a moment to myself. You know, like I just need a moment to think sometimes because I'm when I'm in there, I like to be in the dark, the candle, lay back peacefully, enjoy the massage of it, and kind of reflect on my day. They like the music, you know. They like to talk. They want to talk, you know. And sometimes I don't. I just want silence.
Okay, so because I know you're driving and I don't want to lose you, you sent me you DM me a message about something you wanted to talk about. You want to get that off your chest before the show?
Oh my God! I was on live with Tamar Braxton earlier. She was pissing me off. Don't get me wrong. I love Tamar. I love you, Tamar. I love you, but you're wrong. They were talking about single mothers and how you don't have to call the baby daddy about everything dealing with the child. Like if he's sick or something like that, you ain't gotta call him about every little thing. You know, because some people are not over the relationship, so that's why they keep calling so much or always trying to include them in things. And I'm like, as a father, I want to know. It ain't no calling too much. You know, I want to know every little detail. But I was triggered by the single mother comment, and ladies on here, so maybe y'all can share some insight. I don't agree with the single mother comment. Because if the father is alive and he's helping in any kind of way, you're not a single mother, you're a single woman.
Okay. So okay. So let me.
And you're like, no, if he's living in my house and I'm taking care of him and I'm doing everything and I don't need no help from him, okay, you're probably in a position to do that, but why would you want to?
See, so this is what I think. I think both arguments could be made, one on the technicality and the other on reality, right? The technicality is simple. we classify people based on their relationship status. So you're either single or you're married, or you're widowed, or you're divorced, right? So if you are not married and you have kids, when you do your taxes or when you check a box, you would check single, and you're a parent. So that would make you a single mother or a single father. But that's not the sentiment behind it when we're having conversation. The sentiment behind single mother or single father is that I'm doing this all on my own. And what you're saying, Mikhail, is if the other person's present, just not as a relationship aspect, then that doesn't make you single. You're just a single woman. You're not a single mother or a single parent, because
Right.
you have someone to co-parent with, no matter what that relationship looks like.
Right.
Well, even when I first got with Jazz and she had 2 kids, right? And
Uh-huh.
she said she was a single mother, and I'm like, we're living together, and I'm paying the bills and this that. You're not a single mother anymore because I'm here, you know, and I'm being a father to those children. You're not a single mother. You're not even a single woman at that point.
So what was Tamar giving you pushback? Actually, you know, I met Tamar before too, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was on the grill.
she's something,
Oh yeah.
and she come off. Don't say this live. She come off a little bitter sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
And I
okay.
don't know her situation, so I can't comment on it. You know, but if you push a man away because you claiming you do everything and you got the biggest influence, no, I don't care what anybody say. A kid needs both parents. Period.
So hold on. So let me make sure I understand. It's kind of like you're saying, like, you're pushing the guy out and then championing the fact that you're a quote unquote a single mother, right?
That part, and also how she kept saying because she's doing it her own, she doesn't need any input from him because she's taking care of the child living with her, she's doing everything, so to speak, because she don't want no help and don't need no help. You know, anything you do is extra, so I don't need to confer with you about any decisions that I make with our child
But
because it's
that's
mine.
coming from a hurt place, though. That has to be coming from her being still hurt.
That's what I said.
Exactly.
But
I
she said,
agree.
I've been over the relationship. I'm over the relationship. Okay, then why do you feel like that? Because that's a disservice to the child.
Definitely, your son is being cheated, and you're cheating the father out of being a father. It doesn't matter what you're doing in your everyday. You did not make this child alone. This child is on loan to both of you. So, yes, he has an input. Yes, he should know what's going on. Yes, he's here helping, even though you may not live in the same home. But when it comes to children, I feel like the hurt from relationships needs to have a divide. That is not the child's memories nor life. They should not have to deal with that
And
at all.
I asked the question like, okay, it came up like, if he's sick and it's something traumatic, okay, I can see calling the father. But if my child is just sick in the house or something like that, or have a cold or something, I don't need to call him to tell him that. That making it look like I'm chasing him. Like I said, no, it doesn't. It making it look like that you want him to know what's going on with your child. Because if it was the other way around, if your child was at his house and came up sick, would you want to know?
I think she would, but let's look at it from this perspective though. Is it possible that a woman who has that perspective because the guy has kind of insinuated that she only hitting me up because she really want my attention? She don't have to tell me everything. Because, like, okay, Mikhail, you got 27 kids, right?
That's his problem.
Now I understand that, but if you have 27 kids and you raised them, and you're the type of father who wants to know everything, isn't it possible that the person that she's talking about isn't that way, and she doesn't, and he has made her feel that way?
I don't know. She wouldn't speak on it specific.
But I mean, it could be coming from her though. Like she could be with somebody who has children and is annoyed at the fact that that child's mother keeps hitting her current boo up all the time.
Spoke about that too, and her response to that was like, "You don't need to be calling him." You know what I'm saying? telling him every little thing about the child. Like, you can handle it, you can take care of it, or if he needs to be involved, he can do something. And I was just like, huh?
Mm.
When I first got divorced from my ex-wife, right? She got into a relationship, it didn't last long. Then she got into another relationship, right? And I went over there one day to meet him. And I came from a place like, hey, you know, I'm happy y'all together. You know, I don't know much about you, but I would like to get to know you if you're going to be around my kids. I'm the ex. I'm going to be around. You don't have to worry about me. You don't have to worry that I'm trying to get your woman or anything like that, because that's the past. We've always been friends. We've always been cool. And it's nothing more than that, than co-parents. Right? We attempted to have a relationship, but after a while, he couldn't understand our friendship, so it started to have problems in their marriage. So I stepped back. You know what I mean? I didn't step away from my kids, though. But I stepped back. And I gave her the right of passage to say, hey, when you need to contact me, you contact me then. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to call and check up on them and have your house divided and have your house in an uproar. You know what I mean? But I've had those conversations. I went to him man to man. Like, I'm in a whole nother...
Oh, we losing you.
Oh no, don't stop.
We lost you. So, but I think Keisha made a good point too, though. In terms,
phone started ringing. My phone started ringing.
oh, it's okay. Go ahead.
Julie.
But he... Huh?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, honey.
Go ahead.
Oh. But he just was, I found out later, just really insecure. And he thought because I had 2 wives that she was playing like the third. I'm like, no. That's why we divorced. She didn't want to be in nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I had to let her go.
Right. Let me ask you this. How would it have felt if he came to you like man to man, right? Let's say he came to you man to man and said, yo, to be honest, I'm uncomfortable. And he was just open and honest about like his own insecurities in the whole situation. But he was telling you, like, I don't really want us to be at odds. I want us to be able to understand each other. How would you have looked at that? Would you have looked at it like, oh, he's soft? Or would you look at it and be like, yo, I respect the fact that dude open and honest and we just try
I would have respected that. I'd be like, come on, let's go get a drink. Let's talk.
Y'all
I
could've-
would have respected that wholeheartedly, 100%. And I would have set some guidelines.
set some guidelines and what now?
So y'all, people trying to blow my phone up. People trying to blow my phone up. But I would have set some guidelines, and I would ask them, what are your boundaries, so I can make sure I don't cross them.
Do you think?
But I don't.
And
So what's the issue in terms of calling to check up on your child? Like, I don't understand why. How can that become an issue?
Because people think that it's really not about the child, it's because you haven't let the relationship go.
Ulterior.
And that's their insecurities, you know?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So my question for all of y'all is, like, Mikhail is basically saying that his ex-wife's new boyfriend or husband could have just came to him, admitted to his insecurities about the situation. Because I guess Mikhail could look at it and be like, man, I do got 2 wives. I can see why this dude would be like, you know, maybe, you know, whatever. Do y'all think most men would have the perspective that Mikhail has, in the sense that, like, hey, dog, like, we can talk about it and you can just be honest and I respect your boundaries? Or do you think most men are like, hey, that's for you to figure out?
Well, let me tell you the flip side of it. Because Jasmine actually has 2 different baby daddies. And
Okay.
I don't interfere in their communication. I don't interfere in them having a relationship with their child. They don't do it as often as they should. I pick up the slack and I'm here. And I've talked to at least, well, I talked to both of them before. You know what I mean? One, I guess he a little bitter because he still wants her. You know? And he like, how you with this dude? But when I was cheating, it was a problem. Blah, blah, blah. Well, you know, you was being deceitful. You was cheating. It ain't the same situation that we're in.
Good Lord.
Hey, you a cheat code, yeah? You like, yo, I ain't cheating.
I ain't cheating. I'm not cheating. There's no deceit here. From day one when we met her. It's been open and honest. And the other one, he's receptive. You know what I mean? Me and him had conversations. It's all cool, you know. But I'm okay with it. If one of them call and I'm sitting there, I'll get up and walk somewhere else to give her privacy. Because I'll be thinking sometimes they might not feel comfortable about talking about certain things. But see, I trust her. I ain't worried about them. I trust her.
What
And
kind of conversation would make them feel uncomfortable to have around you, though, if it's about the children?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, anything. You know what I mean? Anything. You know.
I feel like some people just have a complex about the ex or the children's father or the children's mother, and most of the time it doesn't even come from that person. It comes from the person that they're with, and it's either the things that they say about that person, whether good or bad. Some people may speak about their ex like extremely well, and the person that they're with now, they feel some kind of way off the break. It's like, y'all broke up and you still speak this way about them. Y'all could still have a relationship. Like, they don't even think about the kids. You have to understand, a lot of the times it has nothing to do with the children. It has nothing to do that we are cordial or we do this co-parenting thing well because it's about our kids. People always think it has something to do with either side or either person. And it depends on your mentality. It depends on what your mental state is and how strong you are with everything that you do. Because some people it is about that, but for some people it's not. So I have had experiences where an ex still speaks extremely high of me, maybe talk about me a little bit too much. So when you meet me, you automatically don't like me and it becomes a problem. My thing is this. We don't have to have a best friendship. We don't even have to have a friendship. But what we're going to have is a respectable relationship, because you are in a relationship with a person as the other half of my children. My children will not be slighted. They will not have memories that they do not need. And we're not going to go through all of this crazy things. I do not want him. I had him. I put it back on the shelf and you can have it now. Like, it's that type of thing. Stop thinking that I'm calling because I just want to talk to him. Stop thinking that I'm doing these things when my children are there or when they're not because I just want to have interaction with you. I could care less, but I have to have interaction with you so my children can have a well-rounded life. And the fact that some people can only get stuck in that one mind frame is extremely sad. So to come to the man and tell the man, look, you can talk to me. We could talk about anything. Let me know how you feel. I'm going to tell you what's going on my side. And then we'll come to a respectable compromise. That, oh, this man going to come in here, act like he running shit. He's saying this to me. That's immaturity. That's just showing where you are.
Somebody
Nobody has time for that.
Somebody wrote, once you're attracted to that person, you will always be attracted to them. And that's not true. Because my ex-wife,
yes,
I'm not attracted to her at all now. But we the best of friends. But guess what? She also friends with my wives.
Come on.
They talk. Sometimes I come in the house. They all on the phone together. You know. So it's about if it's about the kids truly, then you can have that relationship. And if you're truly over it, you can have that relationship without all the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mikhail, like, to me, in my mind, you just like like another level.
Yeah.
Not really. I think logically. And if people thought process was a little different and they got out of the emotional side of it, you know, because that's where most of it comes from an emotion. Because you start thinking about it. And if you really have true forgiveness in your heart, then you can forgive some of the things that happen in the relationships that's bounding you the way it is that make you treat that person the way you're treating them.
Yeah, but I hear you, right? When I say you reach another level, like you've reached another level of consciousness or ability, because some people can understand your point, but they couldn't apply it, right? Because you're very good at making it sound sensible, logical, and reasonable. But like you said, even some people who understand it logically, they couldn't apply it in the real world. So for you to be able to do it and stay principled when quote unquote it's beneficial or not beneficial for you, it's really cool in my opinion. So I give you your flowers. I like flowers. Y'all
I
put
appreciate
flowers in the chat. I give you your flowers. So,
In the chat, Unique Beauty says, how do you fall out of attraction with your mate, especially if you're married? Because before she said she didn't agree, and I asked her why she didn't. I don't think he was talking about the person that he was with right now. I think he's talking about the ex-wife or the children's mother.
And
But
I mean,
what I've noticed about
talking the
people,
physical
attraction isn't all on looks. Attraction builds up on personality, experiences, moments and experience. And have you ever in your life been so attracted to a person, and then after certain things have transpired and been revealed, you look at this person totally different and do not feel the feelings that you once felt before? Like that happens.
like that.
I think people confuse attraction with like desirability. Just because I may be attracted to you doesn't mean that I desire to be around you or to be with you or to, spend time with you or whatever the case may be. So it's two different things.
Very much so, Lil.
That too, to add to that point, you can see someone who you find attractive, and the moment they start talking, you're like, oh no, I don't even see. Like, it's just gone, right? Like they're not even attractive no more.
That has happened.
So,
not your husband. We're not talking about your current person right now. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah. So either which way.
Yeah, but it has happened off of looks. It's like, oh my God. And then they start talking and it's like, oh no. Like, okay, it's a no-go. Let's move on. But anyway, go ahead, Chels.
I wonder what Julie Bean has said something that
Julie's in here.
Yeah, Julie gonna be on payroll once I start getting paid.
I'm about to be on payroll too. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's right. Shout out to Javon_Johnson for the follow. Follow everybody on here at I am Chels X. That's me.
Yes.
Love Jones, the real Mikhail. Smile just cuz.
Yes.
She keep her joint private, so you might not be able to get her.
He'll send it.
She doesn't like clingers, so
and
you're trying to cling to her Instagram page, she might hit you with the block. Delete. I can't have too many clingers, but y'all can cling to me. I am ChelsXStore.com. You can find me on YouTube too. And these videos on YouTube too.
So my IG family, follow me. Love LUV_JONEZ and Love Joneson, and also Wine X Wild Combos, y'all.
So
friends.
My homegirl Julie Bain says she has low energy today, so make sure y'all send Julie. Put some hearts in the comments and some flowers in the comments, and tag Julie Bain in the comments at Dance with Julie, because she needs a little bit of love today. So yeah. Y'all got anything else before we roll? Because I've had a really long day, and I don't think I'm gonna stay on here long. Mikhail, you got something before we slide off? Is that Jasmine back there?
Yeah.
Hey, Jazz.
Come here, Klinger. Come here, Klinger. I want to talk to
you. She gonna tell the truth.
I know she is.
Hi, y'all. Hey.
How you feeling?
Hey. I'm good. Tired.
Oh, I'm sorry. I won't keep long. I'm tired too. I was told, I won't say by who, that you are the clingy one of the group.
I'm the clingy one?
Yeah, you know you clingy.
How am I clingy?
Oh, I done started something.
Because I like the cuddle?
Indeed, it is.
Okay, so I'm clingy too, right? I'm the clingy.
So just because we're always together,
yes.
We're clingy. Okay, then that's your fault.
You always want to be together.
No. You like being around.
Go to store with me. Go with me to pick up the kids.
Did I do any of that today?
I wasn't here.
Exactly.
But if I was here,
nope, I'd be right.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil.
I'm not. No. That's not me. That's Alicia who's like that. Because every time you go up, every time he jump up and say I'm going somewhere, she hurry up, grab her shoes, and
I said she
follow
behind. Sometimes too.
Yeah, no, ain't no sometimes. She the first one out the door before me. I'll be sitting here like, go ahead.
Okay, so Okay, so I was gonna ask you this.
That wasn't a bad thing.
I was under the understanding that you were the more one who likes to be cuddled and coddled than the other ones.
Yeah, I do like to cuddle at night because, like I said, my thinking is after a long day, you know, everything you done went through, whether it's interacting with people, kids, whatever. Like for me, the cuddling just solidifies everything. Like, okay, I'm good now. Like I'm home, we're safe, the kids are well, we made it through the day, especially being in the field that we're in. That's my security at the end of the day.
Right. So, is there ever a moment when you kind of want that embrace and you don't get it?
Yeah, when he doesn't cuddle with me.
So how does that how does that make you feel?
Sometimes it's a little irritated. I feel neglected at times, but I know he means well. Like he could just be super tired and be like, "Look, I just want to lay down and go to sleep. I'm not really in the mood to cuddle right now."
Don't take it
type
from me.
thing.
Just say how you feel.
But I'd be like, I don't care what you feel like. You're going to cuddle with me, and that's that. So yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real for a second. You could do 100 rights. You do that one wrong.
Oh, I'm coming for you.
Shine a light on it. Shine a light on it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, of course. That's how it is. I just want the clingers of the world to be heard. I want our emotions to be validated, and I want people to understand that we just enjoy being loved on and being cuddled and coddled. And
Oh, now I get it. You're a clinger too.
me?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
he wouldn't.
Stage 5.
this whole life makes sense to me now.
Stage 5, baby.
He doesn't
Yeah.
understand the language.
I'm
we're
a
talking.
momentary.
But see,
Momentary.
here's the thing though. This happens, right?
Mhm.
Clingers are annoying until one day when we're just kind of like off to ourselves and we're not seeking the cling. And then that's when the non-clingers are like, "Hey, are you okay?" And they
Yes,
want to
true.
creep around and bumping into you and rubbing on you. And it's like, well, I wanted to cling yesterday.
Yeah. That's me.
So what did
That's
I tell you to do?
Something's wrong.
That's true.
He'll do that.
That's true.
I can
What
Yeah,
did I tell you to
Here
do?
you are coming home today. You told me something. I'm cuddling with you today.
That's true.
Well,
We-
last night I wanted to cuddle. Today I'm fine.
We get so used to it. I will admit that. Get so used to it that when it doesn't happen, is really loud. I can hear it.
Okay. So
And that makes me wonder, hold up, what's going on? What's wrong?
Yeah, what's wrong?
What does that tell you
What's going
to
on?
do?
Because you're not doing what you usually do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
what's wrong
The,
is
the
that
antennas go up.
Huh?
I
My
got
antennas go up. Like, you okay? What's wrong? What's going on with you?
see that's the thing. So that's the trick. Hey, Jasmine, we just learned something. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We learn.
I just said to y'all. So what is this?
It tells me to just pretend at least, or just avoid, or just be like you, be like the non-clinger, and it traps the non-clinger into becoming the clingy one. So now we reverse roles, and then I go back to being clingy, and then we all
The
get what we want.
transference of energy.
I'm not talking to you no more.
But see, the non-clinger then becomes a little annoying with the clinginess because I didn't say or do my clingy for today. So if I'm not so clingy to him, he's all in my face. It's like when he tries to do it, it's annoying. It's not the same as when I do it. It's very annoying, and I'm like, okay, now you picking.
But see, that's because that's not his natural state.
That's
the only
what I
reason
was just thinking.
the non-clingers are clinging in that particular situation is because they're trying to find out why we're not clingy,
Mm-hmm.
and they're actually
And
missing
then on
see what they don't.
the reverse of that, y'all trying to find out why we being clingy. What you up to? What
Right.
you want?
You've been
That's
asking for this.
What you up to? Move back. Why you doing it?
Saying I'm fine thing.
And then you get this. You only doing it because I asked. Ain't that the point?
Well, hold on, Lil. What were you saying?
No, what did Lil say?
What
No, I say it's the same as when you say, is something wrong? And you say I'm fine. When you're not clingy, there's something wrong. Something's going on. So we're gonna ask.
Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, but so what if I, as a clinger, even though I'm a clinger, what if I really am just having one of those moments where I just kind of like, you know what? It is kind of nice hanging by myself, right?
can't
It,
tell me that. I'll be
here
like,
you go.
listen, it's better to be honest, babe, and tell me you don't want to talk about it than tell me nothing's wrong.
I
True.
agree.
Because I'm connected enough to you to know when something's wrong.
It's true.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. But what I
Come
be
on, Pastor Preacher Deacon.
what I think is, I'll tell you, this is what I think. When it happens to me and I'm chilling by myself, and here comes Lil, the non-clinger, looking for some clinging, I'll be like, my, how the tides have turned.
Oh my gosh, that be
I'm
me.
No,
reading my book, working on my podcast, and look at her, just a clinger. Just come clanging along.
Don't bother me now, 'cause I go upstairs and watch Chicago PD.
Nope.
I go do what I was trying.
No, that's not true. You'll be like, Booker, what's wrong, Booker? Oh, you clingy. That's what the problem is. You're clingy.
I done
No,
told you get on my
no,
face
it's
7
something
times,
wrong.
and then it's like, oh, he's
Right.
not paying attention to me. He did not come in the room like he usually does. What is
Mhm.
going on? Where
Mhm.
are
No,
you?
'cause that's because 9 times out of 10 something's wrong. He's upset about something.
Mhm.
All right, y'all convinced me to find a medium for this. Okay.
We have to find a
Oh,
medium. I said this.
hold on. That's what we do here. So, okay. Nikki want to get in here. So somebody got to slide off. Who's sliding off? Because I got to get one more person.
I can slide off.
You want me to
I
go?
will say I'll go because I'm about to pick the kids up, so I'll go.
Okay. All right, darling. Appreciate you.
Love you,
Bye,
Bill.
y'all.
And
See
Queen.
ya.
See ya.
How I do this?
I
She's
got
the
you.
non-clingy.
Y'all got me in here. This is the battle of the light-skinned people.
I-
Stupid. Hold on. Let's bring Nikki.
Stop it.
He's
And
a
we'll sign off.
This person better be dark-skinned.
So nah, I don't think Nikki dark skin really. So we're going to recalibrate. We're talking about clinginess today.
Still in the battle, honey. You still in the
Nick-
battlefield.
Hey,
You the last one in. You the last one in the
Okay.
Royal Rumble.
okay.
You a clinger or you a non-clinger?
So I'm both given the day. It depends.
Okay.
So with me and my husband, so just how we started out, I pursued him. I let everybody know. I saw him when I seen him. It was the first time I was like, oh, love at first sight is real. I wanted him. So I full throttle went after this Swan Chocolate Man. And I got him 15 years in. But so what happens is life, the freak happens. 4 kids, work, businesses, and everything. And even though he is just as fine as he was in 2007, sis be tired sometimes. I don't want him to feel neglected because I'm still very attracted to him. We still have a bond connection.
Right.
But sometimes things get lost in like what Lil was saying, I don't have no time for myself.
Yeah.
It's businesses and clients and kids and sports and reading because I want to stay knowledgeable. So that I don't even consider my me time. I consider I need to do that so I can still be good at what I do.
Yeah.
But by the time I get to me and him, which is usually a unified thing, I'm just like, babe, I'm sad. And he give me that look like, of course you are. And he mad. He big mad. Because like Lil said, sometimes it's not intentional.
Right.
Y'all will tend to get like the scraps. So like, I know that y'all were talking about scheduling is for the lanes, but let me tell you something good. When I set aside time for my king up in this house, nothing and nobody, clients, dogs, kids, mamas, anybody is going to interfere with that. So I gotta schedule time, even if it's like where I'm a Married at First Sight chick. So if I'm like, well, let's watch Married at First Sight, I'm snuggled all up on him. I'm watching TV, but I'm snuggled all up on him. So he getting his wife time, and I'm getting to appease mine. Now, he don't have to share me all the time with the television and the things I want to do. But I'm not going to sit up here and say, like, he getting the full throttle pursuing as he did with the woman that didn't have none of the stuff that I got going on there.
Right. I got you, Jay. I got you. Now, when I was saying about the scheduling thing, what I was saying was, I just don't want it to be something that we just harp over. Like,
we're going to schedule this time and this time and this time. Now, if I
Yeah.
know that I'm the non-clinger or I'm extremely busy, I'm going to make a mental note in my head to schedule time for my man, type of thing. I just didn't want it to be like where we have become so
Routine.
robotic that
Yeah.
that I'm telling you, you only get it on Wednesdays and maybe
Okay.
Fridays, and
That's
this
a
time
whole
to this time.
that's a
Yeah.
whole nother line. That's a whole nother line. I
It
had a
is,
line
and we
about
should do it, Kels.
yeah,
We need to do it.
talk about
But that's
scheduling
how,
versus
yeah.
spontaneous. I had a whole live about this. That's a whole nother live. Write that down, Kels. We gotta talk about that another day.
Let's talk
Scheduling
about
versus
it. Can we do
spontaneous.
it Thursday? I need a topic.
I don't want that. I don't want I hate scheduling. Now if you doing movies or dinner or something like that, yeah, schedule. But sex?
No,
I like
no. Please do
spontaneous.
not.
The easiest
Yeah, I mean, you gotta switch it up. I think everybody gotta switch it up. And then I was gonna ask y'all, because I'm just always like agreeing most of the time. But then when Chills, you said something about you don't want to be the coleslaw or something. And I was like, I mean, I get what you're saying, right? But then it's like if it's of importance to her to also have some time that is just hers, because this is a struggle that we've had. If it's also of importance to her for her to have the time that is just hers, and it's just as important to you that she has that, then isn't that a compromise? Not needed all the time for you to compromise in that way, but isn't that a compromise?
Well, if I'm so I look at it like this. When I'm in the mood for undivided attention, I don't want divided attention. I'd rather have undivided attention or nothing, right? Because I don't want to be in a state of I don't know, cuddling or whatever the case may be, and I want to converse with you about something that's on my mind, and I can't, because then I'm laying there and my desires aren't being fulfilled, but yours are, right? And that's not
Okay.
that's not that.
But that's the reason why I said that. Remember, we was talking about preferences a couple of months back. Okay, so your preference would be, of course, you would not want to split that time with her, and you don't want it to be with the show, the Chicago PD or whatever may have you. But and it wouldn't be a compromise all the time. But couldn't you do it? Couldn't you compromise some?
Yeah, I could, but so your desire for attention has a spectrum, right? And when I say clinger, I'm talking about you're in that state of wanting undivided. Not like, oh, I'm just in the crib chilling and we could both chill and you could watch a show and I could rub your feet.
Right.
I don't have this burning desire to be the object of your affection,
Right.
attention.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, when I have that desire, if that's not where you are and you're on I need my self-care time, I'm going to give you your self-care time, because I don't have a bad self-care time and me to have a bad clinging time. I can just go off and do what I did. It's not like I don't do a bunch of other stuff. Got a bunch of other stuff that I can go do. So I'm not going to ruin what you got going on by intruding upon it. You understand?
I get what you're saying, but then here's my rebuttal to that. What if your schedules don't allow for the two to exist, and then it's so much time? Like, okay, if she sacrificed for the kids, for work, we saw her leaving work, so we know she's a professional. So for the profession, and she going to sacrifice for you. Don't think you have to come last, but what I'm saying is, if the schedules don't allow for both to coexist, like my husband used to work nights, right? So because I worked on the day as a stylist for 16 years, when we were like this. So what I would do is, girl was packing baskets, showing up at his post, showing up, you know what I mean? I had to do that, and even though we couldn't have real husband and wife time because he had work, but it was like, here's a compromise so we get something, so that the space is not allowed.
Right.
Yeah, but you have, okay, my retort to that would be this though. You at some point, compromise is unrealistic because of the desires of what each person wants, right? I'm not knocking what you're saying. If you fit it where you could fit it in. But what I'm telling you is, when I think food is a good metaphor, right? If I want Popeye's chicken, which I don't really eat Popeye's because it makes me sick, it's just a good example.
Me too.
If I have a desire for Popeye's chicken, right? I want Popeye's chicken. I don't want KFC. I don't want the other joint. I don't want the curry out. When I'm telling you that's what I want Popeyes. But the Popeyes closed because they renovating it. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you what. I don't want no chicken. I'm going to just go get a burger. Because if I can't have the Popeyes chicken, I don't want it at all. Right?
Okay.
To get the substitute, it's just going to make me desire the Popeyes chicken even
Even
more.
more. Yep.
I think
So
I think
sometimes you just
And
don't
not be
want
satisfied
that.
at all.
You don't want those shared moments at all, even though it's not about you at all.
If I'm in a state of ultra desire, and we're not talking about sexually for the people who just came.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we're not talking about that.
We're talking about attentiveness. Like there are moments when every human wants to just, right? I don't want the TV on, I don't want your phone, something happened today, and I want your undivided attention. Right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
When it's similar to that, right? So if I can't have that conversation with you and we're here, I don't want to talk about it at that moment. Now, if
I
I
get that.
Distractions are a turn off. The distractions are definitely a turn off. You know, when you're trying to, especially if you're in that state where you're trying to get something out, I need you to listen to something, and I got to keep stopping and pausing the story and then restarting and then re-emphasizing on something. And, you know, it's not the same effect. You know what I mean? Then
I get what you're saying, but like y'all shared that y'all have, like you have children, we got a slew of kids, y'all got a slew of kids, right?
Right.
So with that, the PTA meetings, the football practice, the cheerleading, the businesses, all of that stuff, it's like,
right, so
ideally, we would love to have that.
So that if that stuff is going on because of what I need at this moment, then it got to wait. That's why he's saying I don't want nothing at all then, because I'm not gonna be able to get it out of the anyway.
think about it, hey Nikki, think about it from this perspective. I can make the same thing and say, well, why can't you compromise your self-care time? Why can't you do that, right? Like you want me to, you're asking me to get diluted clingy time. No, won't you get diluted self-care time? You turn your show off, right? And you can kind of, but there's already not enough time to get my self-care. And that's what I'm telling you. It's the same thing. And if you really want to be by yourself and that's what you need to reach out, I'm gonna respect that because I can go do other things, right? And I'm not gonna shortchange myself.
But how are you going to go do other things, Chels? Keep it all the way 100 up on Mars. Are you going to do other things like this?
No,
are you going to like this cool like I'll catch you like the next time?
Hold on. Nah, because what I'm saying is, first of all, I don't get that much sleep. I sleep about 3 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? I know I make this shit look easy, but I read a lot of books. You know what I'm saying? I read a lot. I got podcasts. I help people. I'm a life coach. There's always something that I could be doing, even if it's just as simple as I'm gonna read the next 10 pages of this book, right? So that's why I can have conversations about a myriad of things because I take in information all the time. I'm not angry, but I am in a state of
it's still
I can't get what I want.
Yeah, so that's real.
And it's like it's okay.
So does that go into you do a whole lot too? You both together do a whole lot. She does a whole lot. And if I can make the time to want to have some one-on-one, like no distraction time with you, you should feel the same to want to have that time with me. Right?
I agree.
I don't understand. What do you say?
I said that you just ran down all of it's a noise that I keep hearing. It's
is it over here?
You just ran down like everything that you do. And then she said the same thing earlier. Lil said all the things that she does, and then y'all do a whole lot of things together. And you're coming to her just wanting her to pay attention to you. So it's like I need self-care. If I can shut that off for a second or dilute it a little bit to come to you 100%, you should be able to do the same thing for me. Is that your feeling?
No, what I'm saying is that you get your self-care because I'm the one who wants to cling to you. So it's built in that you get your self-care because I'm the annoying one. Right? I'm the annoying one. So what I'm saying is yeah, you can ask me to dilute what I want, but you already getting what you want. Right? When I have a desire, when we're both in the house and the kids aren't there and you're tired and you want to sit there and watch whatever show you want to watch, and I can tell that you're not interested in being clung to, I give you that space. I give you 100% of that space. Right? So me coming in and just saying, hey, I'm just making sure you're good. I'm not invading on you. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as a husband.
Right. I got you.
Right? I'm not all up in your face. I'm giving you that space.
Right.
Giving you the opportunity to scroll your phone and watch YouTube, pick books, or whatever it is that you want to do when I'm not around, right?
But she ain't picking the right booger.
Right? but my point is that I think the people who are non-clingers don't understand that even though your time alone is minimal, you get it at 100% in those moments because we afford it to y'all because we don't want to be annoying. Right? So I'm not gonna. It's not fair for you to get 100% of 2 hours of Criminal Minds, and then for me to get 40% of cuddle time while you're watching.
That's true. And you know what? Listen, it may be a situation where our creator was like, "Get your butt up on this live today, sis, so you can adjust it." Because I swear, this is a conversation that needed to be had. We still are trying to. That's rude. We're still trying to figure things out. I mean, like y'all was saying earlier. We're going to constantly evolve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're going to constantly evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, but here go the thing though. I gotta get it because I gotta go back to work tonight. And
We know.
I'll see if I can go in an hour later, but I'm still about to try and get some more sleep. So before we go, Nikki, do you have anything before you slide off?
No, I'm just glad that y'all let me on here. I was supposed to get my butt on here today. So I'm going to make sure I carve out more time. Love y'all.
You've been supporting me so much. I love you, baby girl.
Oh, you deserve it.
Oh, come on now. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mikhail and Jasmine, what y'all got before we sign off?
Just wish us safe travels. We're heading out to New York later tonight for tomorrow.
Oh.
It's the Sherry Shepherd Show.
Oh, safe travels. Yes. Really?
Yeah. Godspeed. Y'all get there safely. What time? Y'all gonna be on the live tomorrow?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's 2 tapings. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, y'all on the show?
We'll get a little piece of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. Yes. That's great.
Along with my self, yeah.
I'm like, yo, y'all should. Kel's
That's amazing.
She need to bring Kel.
Awesome sauce.
I've never been to New York. I'll go up there and tell them hit me up. Send them my contact information.
I know, right?
Okay.
You said you never been to New York.
I've never been to New York. I've been to Hollywood.
I gotta take you. I'm
Where
from
you
there.
at?
I
You
gotta
have
take
to go, yo.
That's
You
home.
gotta go.
Come with us.
What, tomorrow?
New York is a whole vibe.
Hey, you don't listen. I'm from there, so I can tell you. You missed
I
out.
told you I'm
Yes,
from.
I want to go too. Let me know.
That's
when
a
we
real
go.
invite. Come on with us. You got your COVID shot?
Oh yeah, I got all that. I work for the
He's so
government.
bad.
I was so before I let Keisha go. In terms of that, I was the resistance. I got to the point where I thought about getting it, and they was pushing so hard. I said, you know what? I'm not getting it just to prove a point. So if that means y'all got to let me go, and I got to move to Texas or Florida. I'm down for the resistance. Hold the motherfucking line.
No. Have a choice.
That was
You
me.
stand your ground.
And then he was like, "Oh, you got to bring a negative test result every week."
Every week.
I tested every week. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all real quick. I tested every week at one point. Actually, at one point we had to test every 3 days. I got it. My walk-in closet is full of COVID tests, right? And I'm gonna tell you what happened. This is what happened. When they said that we had to test, some of us were smart enough to hoard COVID tests. So when Omicron came, people were coming to my house. I had COVID at one point. People was coming to my house, and I was throwing them boxes of COVID tests out the window because I had all of them. They wasn't at the test. Couldn't get them anywhere. I had all of them joints, and I was like, "See, I could be selling these joints." But now I got them, and it's no.
Oh my God!
But hey, I was down. I'm telling you, I was down for the long haul. I will test until the cows come home or tell me I can't work here no more. I'm not taking it. I held.
I
Keisha,
didn't have a choice, Shells. Like, you couldn't go to work or you'd be terminated if
Right.
you did not get all of the shots, the boosters, and all of that. So I didn't have a choice. So yeah.
so
Yeah,
real
we
quick,
didn't.
And see,
I came home.
I have autoimmune, so I didn't even qualify. I wasn't even a candidate for vaccines. I had 3 different autoimmune disorders. And so when COVID came out, I was scared out of my damn mind. I'm like, okay, if I catch it, I'm going. I'm going to be that person in ICU if I catch it. But, you know, God's done preserved me because COVID been around almost 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got
Me
kids in
too,
school,
boo.
still ain't got it.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yep. Absolutely.
So I came home and I just told Lil, I was like, look, I'm gonna just tell you straight up. I ain't taking the joint. I don't care if they fire me. I draw the line.
I mean, that you got a right to not take it if you don't want to take it.
Right. I said I filed for a religious exemption. And the moment they wrote me back and told me no, I knew. I said, nah, I die on this hill. And if that means I got to uproot my family and move somewhere to where I can do what I do, that's the hill I'm dying on. And one of the main reasons why is because I look at it like this. And I'm not super woke, social justice warrior, none of that shit. I'm about self-accountability. You
Right.
own my ancestors' bodies. You will have to kill me to get mine. You will not convince me to do something to my body that I don't want to do. I'm not going to be a part of Tuskegee experiment, and I'm not saying that's what it was. But you're not. When I say no, it means no. And whatever consequences come from that, I live with that.
You
And
sound
that's
like
where
my boyfriend.
I drew my line in the sand. I said, yo, whatever. And this is what it is. I'm just letting you know it's gonna be some turbulence. But I'm not
even an anti-vaxxer. I'm not. I think that I've been scarred. I mean, I found out about the autoimmune disorders because I got a flu shot that put me in the hospital in ICU for 7 days. So then I realized my body doesn't handle vaccines the way that it used to when I was younger. So that had to be adjusted. But it's certain things that, like when I was coming up, my mother used to fraudulently fill out our vaccination cards because it was things she knew we needed to have, but it was things she just didn't feel like it had been around long enough for her to trust it. Like she was definitely afraid of us catching hepatitis. We had hepatitis shots, you know, so she was serious about that. And that polio, we got those. But the other thing, she was like, oh, they're not going to tell me what to do with my children. So I understand both sides of it. I think you should have a right to get it. If you want to get it, nobody should shame you for getting it. If you don't want to get it, you got a right to not get it. That's your right.
We are with our children. None of our children have been vaccinated since
Mine's
birth.
either.
Forms because I don't trust it. I don't.
Yeah.
And understandably so.
It's kind of crazy because they have friends who have, you know, their vaccinations and they seem to get sick. Our kids barely get sick, have never had vaccinations. They're the healthiest kids you can know. Now we take them to routine checkups, you know, as that, but when it comes to vaccinations, no. And we're barely home with them if they get
Even in school, we fill out a religious.
Yeah, we have a religious form.
Absolutely, and that's your right. That's your right. And this is what I told my mother, because my mother, she was definitely afraid when her mom came to live with her, because my grandmother had cancer at the time. So she said, if you come over, mom's immune system is shot because of these treatments. I need you to get vaccinated. And I said, well, you know I can't get vaccinated, right? Well, can you give me that proof? I said, I sure can give it to you. This is my mom, but she was scared for her mom.
Right.
You know, so I said, listen, when she found out that I couldn't get it, she was understandable. She was very understanding. But to my husband, who is alive, he's able to get it, who decided he wasn't going to get it, she was a little, and I said, well, hold on now, because, you know, it's my job to defend him. These my folks. Yeah. You're not going to shame him for not getting it, just like we aren't going to shame you for being the first in line. That's your right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Keisha.
He ran somewhere.
Keisha. Come on now. See these non-clingers. They'll walk off on
See.
Right? And, well, either which way.
That's who got me thinking about my Married at First Sight tonight. I'm like, well, should I go and get probably some little time before Married at First Sight?
Hold on. Dr. Hawk said they got me the first round, but I like to hell with a booster now. And I gotta go. But I will say this. I think that a lot of people who got it at first, once they found out, like, oh, I gotta keep getting this joint, is when they became, by definition, just like us, because they were saying, oh, now if you don't get your booster, you're unvaccinated. Like, hold on. So I just slid all the way back down to the unvaccinated.
6 months. I think it's every 6 months, right? Every
So we got a test, and all of us people who didn't take it were like, well, we got some, if you need some, I got some COVID tests for you. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't got time to keep taking these shots. Like, this is too much. You keep
It's a lot.
switching it up. You keep saying one thing and then saying something else. I didn't want to do it to begin with.
In the first place,
It's
right?
a lot, but I know you got to go, Chels. How are we wrapping this up, honey bun?
You say what you gotta say, and then I'll say what I gotta say, and then I'll leave.
Okay, clingers. Clingy is what you make it and what you think it is. But at the end of the day, we all need to have our own space. But we have to understand that the people in our life, our partners, also need something from us. They want something from us. And it's not just a want, it's a need. And we should be very blessed and happy that they want it from us and not just go out and do it other places. So let's not be so bad to the clingers, because I told you I'm a momentary clinger. Sometimes I'm the clinger. Sometimes my baby is the clinger. And we go back and forth. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure our people are good. So just be aware and mindful of the things that your partner might need. We just don't know it off the break, every single thing, because like we said, we're constantly growing, but we have to grow with each other, even though we grow singularly. So that's all I got to say. This has been a great show. Love all of y'all, and this has been great.
It's just got fingers. Cling on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lil made a good point. Lil said, thank you everyone in here for being a clinger to the Mars mindset.
Yes, we are, Lil. We love you.
Y'all have gotten me through a really, really extremely long day, so I appreciate y'all. Be good, be blessed, be safe. Cling to your loved ones, right?
Hold on, let me get my fingers right.
The Klingons, and
Klingons.
take your power back. Peace.
Yeah, take your power back.
Power back, baby. Take your power back.
Hey.
Hey.
Yes.